What I really, really wish I knew before going into nursing school or before becoming a nurse. Stay tuned. What is up, you guys, and welcome back to my channel. For those of you who are already part of my family, thank you so much for joining me here once again. For those of you who are new, welcome. My name is Kiara Selena. I'm a practical nurse, and on my channel we mainly talk about nursing education, nursing questions. Everything that you need to successfully execute your nursing journey is right here on Nursing with Key. And we also do a bit of beauty and hair, so if you're into any of those things, consider joining the family by banging on that subscribe button, and don't forget to turn on your notification bell. That way you'll be notified whenever I post future content. In today's video, as mentioned in the title, I wanted to talk about 10 things that I absolutely wish I knew before going into nursing school or before becoming a nurse. So for those of you who have been riding with me from day one, you guys know that I posted a video like this a long time ago, about 2 years ago. I think I was still new in nursing school, and I think that was like the second video I posted. So if you guys want to check that video out, go check that video out. However, I was given my perspective basically as a nursing student, but now that I've been a nurse for almost a year, I'm going to be giving, a different type of outlook on it, coming from a nurse's type of perspective. So if you want to know the 10 things that I wish I knew before becoming a nurse or before going into nursing school, stay tuned. The first thing I wish I knew is just how big of a sacrifice nursing school is. Now, I know a lot of people say this, but let me just elaborate, okay? I've been to school 8 to 4 or 8:30 to 3:30 my whole life. I was in college doing social science. I think you guys call it general studies in the States. So I was in college before I even went to nursing school. I was used to going to school, and because I was in college, I really thought, I was thinking, yes, I have this down pat, this is in the bag, don't worry, girl, I got this under control. But no, regular college is nothing like nursing school. Nursing school literally took over my life, and I don't think I knew how much of a sacrifice I was making by going to nursing school. And I feel like I could talk about this all I want, but this is really something that you're gonna have to experience for yourself to kind of see what we're talking about out here on YouTube. But if you're going into nursing school, just understand that you are making a huge sacrifice, and I'm gonna elaborate on those things a little later. Next thing I wish I knew is how different nursing school is to real nursing. So in nursing school, everything is done by the book. Nursing school is still very intense, but the patient caseloads that you have much smaller patient caseloads. I remember, I think on my very last clinical, I was required to be able to manage 4 patients in order to pass my program. And I thought, coming out of nursing school, that I had everything under control. I thought, yes, I'm finally a nurse, I'm gonna be able to go out there and everything is gonna be a breeze. But no, when you go from doing everything so by the book, and then you graduate and you get into nursing school, and it's like, shit, you go from having 4 patients to 40. Girl, let me tell you. And when you have 40 patients, forget doing things by the book. You are going to do some things that are not textbook. But let me tell you, nursing is not textbook. You cannot do things textbook when you're an actual nurse trying to handle 20, 40, 15, 10 patients. You just freaking can't do it. You're going to have to develop some, techniques that your teachers probably would maybe not fail you for, but your teachers would probably kind of give you crap for it if you were in nursing school. But you just don't have the time to do everything the textbook way when you get out of nursing school and you have 40 patients. It is impossible. So you will find yourself doing some non-textbook, some traditional, or things that are not necessarily the right way to do things. You will find yourself doing some things like that. That's just the reality of it. You're just gonna have to do it when you're a human being, okay? You cannot be expected to do everything by the book all the time. And like I said, you have way smaller patient caseloads in nursing school and when you actually become a nurse and go out there on the field. So I will say that yes, nursing school does prepare you for the nursing field. It does prepare you to be a nurse and whatever, but you will become the best version of you, or the best nurse version of you, when you actually go out there and you start to work and you start to really do things independently on your own. That is really when you're gonna start to see yourself really really truly flourish. The next thing I wish I knew is how strict nursing school is. Like their expectations, like their standards are so high when it comes to nursing students. And I mean, I'm comparing it to my military journey, and it's very, very similar. Nursing school is like boot camp. When it comes to organization, when it comes to presentation, like, I don't know if your school is going to be anything like mine, but we had white pants and a beige shirt. They wanted our shirts ironed all the time. They wanted our pants white, like your shoes had to be white. You had to look sharp. You had to be organized, and you were expected to be on time. So I think we were given we were only allowed to miss like 2 classes per course, right? So for the digestive system, I could only miss 2 classes. For the cardiovascular system, I could only miss 2 classes. And if I missed those 2 classes, I was unable to write a rewrite. So if you wrote the exam and you failed it, you had to redo the whole class because you were not eligible to do a rewrite. So I remember at 8:30, the door would be closed. If you were not in class ready to learn at 8:30, the door is closed and you are considered absent, and that takes away from one of the 2 classes that you are allowed to miss. So nursing school is really, really strict. They expect you to look good, they expect you to act professional, and they expect you to be on time. It is really strict. I wish I knew before going into nursing school is the grading scale. I spoke about this in my last video. Here in Canada, in most places, a passing grade, a C is like a 60, right? No, like forget having a C. In nursing school, a C, like a 60 is like a Z. Like forget even getting a 60, okay? You needed to have an 80 in order to pass every class. The only class that didn't require for me to have an 80 was cognitive deficits, and for that class we needed a 75 to pass. But for every other class, we were required to get a minimum grade of 80% in order to pass. So I'm telling you, their standards are really high, their expectations are really high. You're gonna have to work really hard in order to get those good grades, because you can only get B pluses and over in order to pass. Now this may kind of vary depending on what school you're going to and where you live, but usually in every nursing school, or almost every nursing school, the grading scale is different and they expect for you to get higher grades. Next thing I wish I knew is how quickly nursing school just changes you. Like, you literally go from getting into nursing school and you're all excited and you're just like the clueless new nursing student to like, boom, knowing all this information. I remember in like a month, it's like I was looking at Grey's Anatomy and, you know, all the terminology started to, you know, sound familiar. I started to understand things better. You know, it really changes you super quickly. Like they throw so much on you so fast. You're gonna be amazed at how much you're going to grow and how much you're gonna learn in such a small span of time. Like nursing school just really changes you super. The next thing I wish I knew before becoming a nurse is how different nursing school is from other like college or vocational programs. In nursing school, you are expected to be in go mode and in focus mode all the time. This is not like your regular general science type of program where you can, you know, go at the back of the class and put your hood on and take a nap without the teacher knowing, and then copy your friend's notes and still pass your semester because you're only required to get a 60. Remember that you need an 80 in order to pass in most places, and everything in the body is so connected. So you are expected to really understand what it is that the teachers are teaching, because if you don't understand one thing, chances are you're not going to understand the other thing. And another thing is you are quizzed regularly so that the teacher can kind of determine what your problem areas are, and so that the teacher can make sure that you're actually following the class and that you're actually understanding the things that are being taught to you. You're always going to be quizzed. You're gonna have exams like all the freaking time. So no, you're going to have your eyes open to make sure that you're getting adequate rest. I know that it can be a little bit difficult when you have to study and everything all the time, but you got to try to, you know, get rest as much as you can, and you got to, you know, get to school, be energized, be in go mode and be in focus mode and be ready to learn all the time, because you will not succeed if you are just at the back of the class, you know, slumped all the time because you stayed up all night watching Netflix or on YouTube, you know. No. You gotta go to sleep. You gotta be in go mode. You gotta be just ready to go all the time. This is not like your regular college. The next thing I wish I knew before going into nursing school is the financial sacrifice you're going to have to make. I've seen so many other college students go to school and work. Like I said, when I was doing general studies, I would go to work right after school. My school was actually connected to a mall, so I could just go through the tunnel and get to work like this, and I was fine. I was fine doing that. But like I said, nursing school takes over your life. You are not only going to be required to be in go mode and focus mode when you are in school, but you're also going to have to be in go mode after school, because you will have assignments, you will have to study. Like I said, you are being quizzed regularly, so your head is just gonna have to be in the books all the time. And also you have to remember that you have clinical as well, and clinical is actual work. Even though you're not being paid, you are on your feet, you know, all day. I remember when I was working as a CNA while I was in nursing school, I think I was doing 4 days a week working as a CNA. So I was doing weekends and 2 days right after school. So I would be up at 4:45 in the morning to make sure that I'm at clinical 6:30, ready to go, you know, read the charts, know everything about my patient before report at 7 o'clock. And then from 7 to 3, I was on my clinical, and from 3 o'clock, I would rush over to work and work from 4 to midnight. Child, I want to tell you, it ain't easy. It is not easy. And I even had to cut my hours down to only weekends, and even that was exhausting because I was pretty much at school from Monday to Friday, and then Saturday and Sunday, the only days that I really had to rest, and those days I also had to study, I was at work, trying to study on my breaks, trying to study after work. Like, I had zero social life. But the financial sacrifice you're going to make for nursing school is huge. And if I could give you any piece of advice for all of you who are thinking about going into nursing school, if you know that nursing school is a goal that you want to accomplish, start saving now. If you have, you know, a good amount of savings in your account, then you can actually focus on what matters, which is school, without any distractions. Or you can work, you know, less days, and it won't really affect you too much if you have something that you can fall back on. So if you know you're about to go into nursing school, start saving money, because I'm telling you, going to nursing school and working is hard. It is exhausting. Nursing school on its own is exhausting. So I'm telling you, if you could avoid working, do so. Start saving right now. So the next thing I wish I knew before going to nursing school is just how much fun nursing school is. I know that we always focus on the negative aspects and on how hard it is, and you know, all the types of things that I just mentioned in this video, but nursing school is honestly so fun. You know, seeing yourself actually grow, seeing yourself flourish, seeing yourself actually, you know, on clinicals doing real nursing skills, you know, really using those critical thinking skills that theory, you know, was supposed to teach you, you know, going to lab for the first time. You know, you also meet amazing people in nursing school. It's just like boot camp. I'm telling you, I'm in the Navy, for those of you who don't know, so I know what I'm talking about. And nursing school is really like boot camp. Like, you create bonds. You guys cry together when you pass. You guys cry together when you fail. You guys study together. You guys go through everything, clinical together, labs together. So you create amazing bonds, and you just learn so much. And if you are really truly passionate about nursing, you're gonna find that really enjoyable. As challenging as nursing school was for me, it was so much fun as well. And if I knew how much fun nursing school was, I probably would have done it a little earlier. So it's not all bad, guys. Yes, it is hard. Yes, it does require hard work, but it's also very enjoyable if nursing is truly your passion. I guarantee you. I wish I knew before becoming a nurse is the mental strength that it takes to be a nurse. I know that when we think of nursing, we literally just think candies, rainbows, and just like smiles and hugs and unicorns. And no, I am going to tell you right now that that is not at all what it is. Not only do you have to deal with unpleasant and abusive patients sometimes, I mean, I haven't even been a nurse for a year yet, and I have been spat on, I have been called the N-word. If you guys want to see my story about that, I will leave that video down below. But yes, I have experienced racism. I have been spat on. I've had people try to hit me. And not only do you have to deal with the unpleasant patients or the unpleasant residents, sometimes you also have to deal with unpleasant family members. And girl, let me tell you, sometimes you just want to blow up and just check somebody. You just want to check somebody, you know, and they really don't know you, and they're just testing you, and you're just thinking in the back of your head like, girl, I wish we were outside right now. I'm just joking, but you will be tested. Your patients will 100% be tested, and I guess it's kind of a good thing because it teaches you discipline. I mean, a couple years ago, if somebody annoyed me too much, check right away. Now I learned to kind of hold it in and be professional and walk away and things like that. So it does take a lot of mental strength, but it does teach you discipline. So the thing I wish I knew before becoming a nurse was how much nurses actually eat their young. Now this is a big topic. I think I've made like 3 videos about nurses eating their young, about older nurses who just hate, you know, younger nurses who graduate and, you know, you're fresh out of school and you're young and, you know, you're super excited, you know, to be in the building and to finally be a nurse. And then you have these miserable, old, you know, washed out, overworked nurses who have been nurses for 40 years who think they're so much better than you because, you know, they have more experience than you, and they just want to give you a freaking hard time just because they're just assholes. Sorry, profanity, but that's really just what it is. And I didn't know that I was gonna have to deal with that. I really thought that everyone would be so welcoming, and you know, I was under the impression that nursing was unicorns and rainbows and all of that magical stuff too, but it really isn't. You're gonna have to deal with really unpleasant coworkers. You know, you're gonna have to deal with all kinds of stuff, and dealing with annoying coworkers can be like, it can be really tough, but it is something that you might have to deal with. Not everybody deals with this. I did deal with it for a little bit, but you know, that's the thing about becoming a nurse. When you become a nurse, your options are you just have an abundance of options. And so whenever they start with the BS, you could just be like, peace, and you know you're needed somewhere else. You can apply somewhere else, and you know you're probably gonna get a call back within a week or 2, and you could be somewhere else if you're unhappy. And I don't think that there's anything wrong with that. I think that your happiness is the most important thing, and if you being happy means that you have to leave somewhere after 2 weeks, look, they're not going to die without you. They fire people and hire people all the time, and you need to treat them the same way they treat you. To these employers, you're a number, and you need to treat them as such as well, because they have options, but you also have options too as a nurse. So if you are unhappy and if you're in a toxic environment, you don't need to be there. Bounce and go find happiness and peace and sanity somewhere else. Period. Other things that I wish I knew before becoming a nurse or before going into nursing school, but I just don't want to make this video too long. If there's anything that you want to add, let me know. What do you wish you knew before you went into nursing school or before you became a nurse? Let me know in the comments down below. If you like this video and you're still not yet part of my family, what are you waiting for? Join the fam by subscribing and turning on your notification bell so you will be notified whenever I post future content. And I really hope to see you guys in my next one. Bye.